Okay.
That's what she said.
Yeah. So, just real quick, I don't even have an intro for this. I got a comment, and the comment says, Kevin, wow, sounds very stressful. As this video I'm talking about our changes in our income when it comes to YouTube, right? A reduction in views and reach and impressions, but also a reduction in CPM and RPM from the ads shown for the limited views that you get. And they say, this sounds very stressful. Sorry your income is so precarious. I was in sales for most of my life. It's feast or famine. You have to learn to surf the waves and expect the troughs and be prepared to ride them out until the next wave comes along. But just have faith that the next wave will come. So this is a really good comment, but it like makes me think about the overwhelming unanimous vibe that I get from some of the comments on YouTube that say, go get a real job, go get a real job. Go get a real job, which I would assume most people would consider a real estate agent, a realtor such as yourself, to be a real job.
Well, that's interesting because a lot of the comments that I get are "go get a real job."
So even your audience doesn't consider what you do to be a real job? Oh, no. See, your comments are coming in from the perspective of a YouTuber, not a real estate agent.
No, absolutely not. So on my real estate channel, I get a tremendous amount of hate in the comment section, and my perception, again, I don't know what anybody's actually thinking, but my interpretation of what they're saying is the real estate market is dead. You need to go get a real job. Everybody in real estate is fucked, and you're going to have to go find a real job. So I don't believe those comments are based around anybody who thinks that you're making a significant amount of money or enough money to live on off of a channel that's got 17,000 views and, under 4 million total views is smoking crack. Like that's just, if that were the case, well, then over the last, over the lifetime of my channel, I've earned $38,000. And if that were true, then I would need to get a real fucking job. But that's not how I monetize YouTube. That's not what I do. And so the conditioning which you mentioned, I think the world has been brainwashed in a way to where they've made people believe that there are certain things that they must do. Well, first of all, everybody has to have a job. Everybody has to earn an income. Everybody has to earn a living.
No, you're wrong. Everybody does not have to have a job because there are forms of government aid and handouts that they can collect without going to work.
Yeah.
Okay, so anybody who's in that patient population of sick-minded individuals are people that I simply don't have any reference point for. I don't have any words of advice for. I would tell you to go down to Jonestown, drink the Kool-Aid immediately, and do the whole world a service because you're not my people. I don't relate to you. Last I checked, we were the United States of America. When I grew up, there was a certain mentality. There was a certain, now I'm old, right? So maybe I'm not the target avatar, or maybe I'm not I'm a dinosaur. I mean, compared to a lot of people, but I was raised to have certain values. I was raised to believe in a certain work ethic. And this goes back to everything. Like when I first started playing sports, I was the worst player on the team. And I quickly realized I hate being the worst player on the team. I do not want to be the worst player on the team. What can I do to get better at the sport that I'm playing so that I'm not the worst player at the team, that I can beat the best player on the team? That competitive spirit, that competitive drive, that is what I describe as being an American. I believe that's what capitalism is built on. And that's how I was raised. So I started playing soccer. I sucked at soccer. Then I got to be pretty good at soccer. I sucked at tennis. I was the worst. In fact, I was so bad at tennis that I went to a tennis camp. And again, I'm privileged and, shame on me for my parents putting me in a tennis camp. I certainly
You had
am,
parents?
yeah, right. I had two parents who loved me and did the best they could, but they sent me to tennis camp because they thought that playing tennis might be an important skill set for me to have when I got older to be able to socialize with clients and friends and whatever. They were right. I wish they put me in golf camp, but actually, they tried to. I refused it because golf was, honestly, I thought anybody who played golf was a bunch of pussies. Pardon my French, but like, it's so boring. I don't want to do that. I want something a little bit more aggressive, which eventually I landed in football and wrestling and track, but that's a different story. But I want to say I was like around 11 or 12 years old, and I grew up in Florida learning how to play tennis at 12. There are 6 year olds that are better than me in playing tennis at that point. So when I went to that camp, I had to start and learn and progress my way up the system. I was playing with like 10-year olds or younger. So when I went out there with a wooden racket, because my parents wouldn't buy me a racket until I earned it, I went out there with this 30-pound, it felt like a 30-pound warped racket that was not strung the right way, not the right equipment. I didn't have the tennis outfit. I did not fit in, but I had to go eat it and practice and learn how to play with a bunch of 7, 8, 9 year olds. Well, when you're 12, that age difference is a big deal. But within a few days, I learned how to play better than them. And by the end of that summer, I ended up winning the tournament for the entire camp because I woke up at 5 a.m. and I made my mom take me to the tennis court so I could practice my serve. I made my mom throw me balls to learn how to develop a forehand and a backhand. And I became insanely competitive. And I hated everybody in this camp because I was the worst player. And I didn't really hate them. It's just that's my competitive drive. I won the entire tournament. I was the best player in the camp. But and eventually my parents did thankfully buy me a racket that wasn't so embarrassing. Maybe that's why my arms are big because this 30-pound racket laid the groundwork for me gaining some strength.
Thanks, Mom.
But thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad. But that's just an example of, when I grew up and we're around the same age. You remember the movie Rocky? The underdog, he's
So, Chris,
fighting the Russian.
are you trying to tell me, maybe I'm not understanding this, but are you trying to tell me that the people who leave the comments on videos, regardless of it's from the perspective of a full-time YouTuber or the perspective of a full-time real estate agent who has a YouTube channel, or anybody for that matter who chooses to get onto a platform and discuss their changes in their income, which odds are 90% of people are experiencing some form of change to their income in 2024. Are you telling me the people who leave these comments of these blanket and broad and extremely vague and usually ridiculous statements of get a real job are the opposite of who you are describing yourself as a young boy hustling and fighting and scrapping to win, and they are just haters and would never even bother to attempt to try to do what any of us do that we would all consider to be real jobs?
I think there's something probably foundationally broken within anybody who is going to take the time. If you've got enough energy to create a comment that's hateful or victimizing or whatever, well, then that's a choice. And if you redirected that energy into some self development, I suspect you'd probably get a lot further ahead in life. But the idea that look, the economy is going to change. The stock market's going to change. The real estate market's going to change. Every market, every economy, every
Automotive
country,
industry, automotive market.
every single industry that there is, every single country that everything goes up, everything comes down. And if you learn to pivot to where it's best currently, you're always going to make money. So back when Clinton, I'm trying to think, when I became a stockbroker, I think Clinton was president. Um, I made just as much money under Clinton as I did as every other. In fact, I earned more every year. It didn't matter who's president or what the system was or what the economy was. In fact, I made the most money when the market tanked. That's when
So
there's volatility. That's when you make money.
do you think that if Trump were to be elected, you would make more or less money?
I would tell you that who's president is irrelevant to what I do. It has absolutely zero bearing on anything that I do. And
Oh no. Oh no. Why is now when he freezes?
Oh boy, this is the best part.
Oh yeah.
I think we lost him.
He looks like he's seen an alien.
Or he glitched. Maybe he was AI. Maybe he was AI.
Or maybe the Biden administration is listening. They're like, hey, don't say that, it doesn't
This
matter.
isn't even streamed. This isn't even streamed.
No, I don't know.
I'm back. I see you. I'm back. So, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
You were about to drop some fire and then it just cut off.
Well, that's because the system's trying to keep us down. They're trying to oppress us. They don't want you to know the truth. But if I believed any of that stuff, I would be the first one in line to go down to Jonestown to drink the Kool-Aid, because whoever is the only person who could ever stop me from being successful is me. Period.
What do you think? And this is it. I'm not going to go any further, but it's like, I got to think behind the basis of go get a real job. There's no real intrinsic value in this statement, especially when it's entirely untrue, because there's no way I would consider a real estate agent to be not a real job. That doesn't even make sense. So it's purely designed to discourage and tear down, and it's not even considered constructive criticism, in my opinion. Why?
Well, also what's great is a lot of times those comments are coming through sometime between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., which most people that had a real job should be at work and not playing on their phones, watching YouTube and leaving comments.
Are they real or are they bots?
So
they're probably real people that live in a basement somewhere and don't actually have a job of their own, or they're bots.
So the middle schooler in me is rebuttal to that. If I was on the playground and somebody said, go get a real job, I'd say, go get a real life, because clearly there's something missing in yours if you're wanting to spew some kind of venom towards somebody who's putting out content that is obviously intended to empower, to improve, to lift up. And right now, that's just not in vogue. That's not what the algorithm wants you to see. I suspect the algorithm does not want people to believe that they can be in control of their own lives, of their own income, of their own everything. They don't want empowerment. They want entitlement. I think they want submissive. I think they want beta. I think they want less than. I think they want you on the teat. And I'm never going to be on the teat. So.
I remember seeing some sort of video of an altercation between two women somewhere, and they were both overweight, like clearly overweight. And one of them called the other one a fat bitch. An overweight fat bitch. And I'm like, okay, so this is all making sense. So the same people who don't have real jobs between the hours of 9 to 5 are quite possibly the same ones saying, go get a real job.
Yeah.
When they are the fat bitch, okay? Yeah. But then also when you say, huh?
You beat me to it. I was going to say anybody who's leaving that comment is a bitch, but that's my opinion.
But then you, Chris, like you brought up a really good point. You made me think about Skyfall. Daniel Craig, Bond, Skyfall, and the evil villain. I don't remember his name. The guy from No Country for Old Men.
Well, Javier Bardem is his real name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Silva.
Yeah.
So he tells a story about being on a private island and all the rats were eating all the coconuts. And then what they did was they took a barrel and they put coconut in the barrel. And then all the rats went in the barrel to eat the coconut. But when all the coconut was gone, it was just a barrel full of rats. And then the rats got hungry, so they began eating the other rats.
Yeah.
So when there were just 2 rats left, they let them go. on the island, so that now the rats no longer eat coconut. They actually hunt rat. So if rat ever shows up, they'll be eaten. It's an indoctrination. It's reprogramming. It's coding. If people fall into this trap that is being set by social media, terrible social media, the algorithms, news, media, eventually they won't have to be convinced and tricked anymore that they can't. They'll inherently know this from the start.
Yeah.
What you didn't bring up about this rat story on the island is that they were on Epstein's island and they were actually trained to hunt down not rats but underage girls, or no, or what is that called? It's now attractive minor person. So
Is this a thing?
They're trying to change it in because they don't like the P word. They want to change it to it's something different so that it loses the connotation that it's bad. Yeah.
Reprogramming.
Yes.
Reprogramming. Exactly.
We'll pick this back up. We'll pick this back up. We can't. We're gonna be. I'm running out of life on this one here.
So they programmed you to believe you're running out of life. Keep hope alive. You are not dying. You two are alive. You two are thriving. Let's fucking go.
I can tell you my problems, meditating my silence. But I keep pushing my pen, rotating my stylus. Brokenness feeling like sin, now no breath, low dollar. Used to be left on red, now all the girls go holler. Now all the girls go follow. All the fake friends go pop.